Can you look me in the eye right now? I mean, really look at me. You have dedicated your life, your energy, and your heart to shaping the next generation. You have survived classroom chaos, endless grading, and administrative red tape. And now, you are sitting there in your 50s, or approaching your 50s, looking at the calendar and asking yourself, can I get out? Is it finally my turn to stand up from the desk and walk into the sunset on a teacher's salary? I know the exhaustion you are feeling. I know the deep, nagging fear that keeps you awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling. You are terrified that if you leave now, you will run out of money. You are terrified that you are trapped in that classroom until you are 65 or 67 just to survive. You ask yourself, is early retirement a luxury reserved only for corporate executives with six-figure stock options, or can a public school teacher actually make it happen? Let's stop the guessing game right now and look at the raw, unfiltered truth. Is it possible? The short answer is yes. But, and this is a massive, life-altering but, it is only possible if you wake up today, face your numbers with absolute clarity, and understand the hidden traps that are hardwired into your retirement system. If you try to coast into a 50s retirement blindly, thinking your pension will automatically save you, you are headed for a financial disaster. Let's talk about the single biggest obstacle standing between you and freedom, the pension trap. Most teachers have a defined benefit pension. You've been told your whole career that your pension is your golden ticket. But here's what they don't tell you in the staff lounge: those pension formulas are ruthlessly designed to reward longevity and severely punish early exit. Most states use a formula based on your final average salary, your total years of service, and a pension multiplier. If you retire in your early or mid-50s, you likely haven't hit the normal retirement age or the rule of 80 or rule of 90 required for an unreduced, full pension benefit. What does that mean for your pocketbook? It means if you pull the trigger early, the state is going to apply an early retirement reduction factor. In many state systems, your pension is slashed by 5% to 8% for every single year you retire before the normal retirement age. If you retire at 55 instead of 62, your lifetime monthly check could be cut by 35% or even 50%. Can your budget sustain a cut like that? Absolutely not. Furthermore, depending on your state, you might be one of the 40% of public school teachers who do not participate in Social Security through their district. If you don't pay into it, you won't get it, or your benefits could be severely reduced by the windfall elimination provision. Then comes the monster under the bed that hits early retirees harder than anyone else, the healthcare bridge. If you retire in your 50s, you have a massive, dangerous gap to cover before you become eligible for Medicare at age 65. Do you know how much private health insurance or COBRA coverage costs for an individual in their mid-50s? It can easily eat up $1,200 to $1,800 a month in premiums alone, not to mention deductibles. If your reduced early pension check is only $2,500 a month, and $1,500 of it goes entirely to health insurance, how are you going to pay your mortgage? How are you going to buy groceries? You cannot afford to ignore this gap. So, how do we solve this? How do we take your teacher's salary and turn a 50s retirement into reality without you going broke? It requires a multi-legged stool approach. You cannot rely on the pension alone. First, you must master the gap strategy using your supplemental retirement accounts. As a teacher, you have access to retirement vehicles that private sector workers can only dream of, specifically, the 403B and the 457B plans. If you have been contributing to a traditional 403B or a 401k, you generally cannot touch that money before age 59 and a half without hitting a 10% IRS early withdrawal penalty. However, the 457B plan is an absolute superpower for early retirement. Listen to me closely, the 457B plan allows you to take penalty-free withdrawals at any age once you separate from your employer. If you retire at age 53, you can immediately start drawing from your 457B to live on, leaving your main pension to accumulate or your other investments to grow until you hit a more favorable age. If you are still working right now and dreaming of escaping in your 50s, you need to maximize your contributions to a 457B or 403B immediately. Look at your budget with a magnifying glass. Cut the fluff. Stop spending money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't even like. Redirect every single spare dollar into that supplemental account to build your early retirement bridge fund. Second, you must plan for the healthcare bridge. Check your district's collective bargaining agreement right now. Do they offer retiree health insurance? Some districts allow retired teachers to stay on the district's group health plan at a subsidized rate until they hit 65. If yours does, that is gold. If it doesn't, you need to research the Affordable Care Act exchange. Because your taxable income in early retirement might look lower, since you aren't drawing your full pension yet and are living off savings, you may qualify for massive premium tax credits that bring your healthcare costs down significantly. But you must map this out before you submit your resignation papers. Third, change your definition of retirement. Who says you have to go from working 50 hours a week to doing absolutely nothing? Many teachers who retire in their 50s successfully transition into a phased retirement or a second, passion-driven career. You have specialized skills. You can consult, tutor, write curriculum, or work part-time in an entirely different field. This barista retirement or bridge work doesn't need to pay a fortune, it just needs to earn enough to cover your health insurance and basic groceries for a few years so you don't have to touch your core retirement nest egg until your pension drops its early penalties. Remember, true financial freedom is not about how much money you make, it is about having control over your time. You have given so much to your students. Now, give yourself the gift of financial truth. Face your numbers, build your bridge, protect your health, and stand in your financial power. You can do this, but you must do it smart.